We're finally at the weekend where you have permission to wear white jeans. I'm just kidding. I believe you can wear white jeans anytime that you want to. And today I'm going to make some outfits with white jeans and also help you understand why you might be struggling to find a pair you love and what to do about that and the fear of not being able to keep them clean. All of that we're going to chat about in today's Simple Outfit series. That's correct. It is Memorial Day weekend in the United States, and that has long been considered the day when white jeans are finally acceptable. Between Memorial Day and Labor Day, white jeans are okay. After that, it seems like it's frowned upon. It's an old, outdated rule that is arbitrary and no longer observed as far as I'm concerned, yet I have a lot of clients who still adhere to it, not because they want to, but because it's a limiting belief that they haven't been able to shake. And so today I want to share some outfits because this is a simple outfit series video. So I'm going to share some outfits. I'm going to make some outfits using pieces from my own closet and my own white denim. And I'm going to talk about some of the struggles and the obstacles that come up when women try to wear white denim. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thanks for being here. My name is Kristen and I'm a style and mindset coach. And that means I can help you get dressed by helping you address what's going on in your mind that is keeping you stuck when it's time to open up your closet and figure out what to wear. If you would like my help, I do work one-on-one with clients inside my signature program, Style Therapy. The first step is a free 1-hour sales consultation call where we hop on a Zoom and we get to know each other a little bit. And I get to understand better what your style struggles are so that I can really truly explain how style therapy could help. If you're interested in that, there's a link to my calendar down below and you can book your call. So today's video, as I mentioned, is part of the Simple Outfit series. And I'm really excited to make these outfits. I have been having a lot of fun with this. So I just want to start by saying two quick things. First of all, I am chatty. I like all the details. I like to share the full explanation for why I make the decisions I make. I want you to have all of the information that you possibly can to take away to use in your own wardrobe with your own style. One little nugget that I might have edited out could be just the thing that you needed to hear in order to take this information and use it in your own life. So if chatty isn't your thing, put me on a faster speed or just fast forward to the outfits. But I'm always going to give the extra information. I was raised by a family of teachers. I believe in the details. And I believe that knowledge and information can really truly help if you take that knowledge and information and actually implement it and embody it in your own style. Second, this whole idea of the Simple Outfit series really truly brings up a lot of my perfectionist stuff. Primarily the fact that it is almost excruciating for me to rein it in and to limit the number of outfits I make. I want to exhaust all the possibilities and that would take me hours. My wardrobe is dialed in and cohesive enough that I can make outfits with almost every single piece in my wardrobe. When I take a piece like I do for the Simple Outfit series, where I take one piece, essentially, sometimes it's a little different, but usually I take one piece and I show you how to wear it in multiple ways. So today I'm doing cream or white jeans. I could almost wear every single thing in my closet with these cream jeans. That would be ridiculous to show you all of those things. So it is I just want you to know that it is very difficult for me to actually limit and pull a small collection and show you some options instead of every single option that exists behind these doors. And yet I'm doing it. It is a good exercise for me as a perfectionist that I don't need to give you every single outfit that I could make, that would not necessarily be better for you, that a little bit of information and a few ideas could be just what you need to be inspired to go try some of this in your own wardrobe. These are the shoes that I am working with today. If you've watched a couple of my recent videos, you've heard me talk about wanting some new spring shoes. We had some sort of frozen precipitation a couple of days ago, so spring shoes have not been a necessity at my house. However, I know that we are headed into the 80s and it will continue to get warmer. We'll be in full-on summer very soon. So I am still on the lookout for spring shoes. I really don't love shoes, if I'm completely honest. I'm kind of picky and I'm okay with that. I like my reasons. I like the shoes that I like, and it's hard for me to deviate from the shapes and styles that I really love. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel like it's making it impossible for me to get dressed. And I don't really want a giant collection of shoes. So just know that for this set of outfits, these are the shoes I'm working with. So I tried to kind of create outfits in my mind again. So I wasn't just standing here in these pants and continuing to put on tops and showing you all of the options I could possibly make. So why white denim? I decided to do an outfit series video on white denim because it is something that has come up recently very often with my style therapy clients, because we're entering the season where they feel like they can wear white denim and yet they're struggling. Some of them have none because they can't ever find any that they really love. And some have 6, 7, 8, 10 pairs of white denim and they don't really love any of them, but they keep trying. So I want to start with just kind of busting some myths and sharing some details and information about white denim that could make it helpful for you to then have a pair in your wardrobe if you don't already, and then have some inspiration for how to wear them. So there are 4 things I want to mention that can make it easier when you're trying to find a pair of white jeans. You may notice that the jeans I have on are cream. They are kind of an off-white. They are not a stark white, and that is intentional. So just for clarity, this t-shirt is pretty stark white and the jeans are not. So I prefer a cream jean. I did not know this until I too was struggling to find white jeans that I really loved. And then I stumbled upon a pair that were this off-white kind of ivory color. And I realized that that is much more in keeping with my wardrobe. So the first thing I want to mention is consider that maybe if you tend to wear more creams, you might be happier in cream denim. And when you go and try on white denim and it's really stark and crisp and kind of proper and formal looking, it might not be your vibe. As I said, I really tried with white jeans multiple times, and I always ended up feeling inauthentic when I would make outfits, no matter how much blue I put on with them. So I would offer that you could consider going a little bit creamy or ivory or off-white with your denim, if that's something that you tend to wear in your wardrobe on the top. If I wore crisp white on the top, I'd probably be much happier in crisp white on the bottom, but that's not the case. The cream is much more in keeping with my wardrobe and feels much more authentic for me. It also tends to feel a little more authentic for me because it's not quite as pristine. It doesn't feel as fussy. My style is not fussy. My style is casual, and I live in my clothes and I want them to perform, and I wear blue jeans a lot. So in order to get me out of blue jeans into something different, I have to really feel like they're going to work and be wearable. And the cream just feels a little more forgiving in the sense that if I bump up against something, it's not quite so obvious as if they're stark white. That does not mean that you should not wear stark white jeans for fear of getting them dirty, because you absolutely should be wearing them and loving them and using a stain remover or some Dawn dishwashing detergent to get out any stains that need some treatment. You can bleach white jeans if you need to in order to brighten them up. And I also believe that if they get a little bit dingy, that's okay. White jeans are not intended to be white pants or white trousers that are much dressier. They're intended to just be worn and feel a little bit cooler and fresher and more modern in the summer. Also, if you've been struggling to find a pair of white jeans, consider the shape of denim that you already love in blue jeans. What shapes do you really like on your body in blue jeans? And then look for those same shapes in a lighter jean, in white or in cream. And the other thing is size up. Oftentimes, because they're white, instead of a dark denim or even a medium denim, they don't have that same visual effect. They don't give the same overall visual vibe. So sizing up can make them feel just a little bit easier, a little bit slouchy, not baggy and loose and oversized, but a little more forgiving, I guess. And then finally, if you're new to white jeans or cream jeans, but you really want to try a pair, this is an area where you can shop secondhand, because there are so many women who try a lot of white denim that doesn't work for them, and then they end up donating it. So almost always, as the season changes to be what's traditional white denim season, thrift stores and consignment stores have a lot of white jeans. Yes, some of the styles might be dated, but you have a pretty good selection of cream and white denim available without having to invest in premium cream or white denim until you're really sure that you're going to love them. I recently invested in what I would consider more premium cream denim because I knew that I wanted a pair, and when I tried these on, I knew it was love at first sight and it was going to be an instant yes. So the jeans I have on are from Anthropologie. They are an Anthropologie brand called Pilcrow. I have had these on in a couple of videos recently. They have some distressing at the knee. I have a size 10 foot. If I get dressed quickly, I can slide my foot right through a nice little distressed spot and make it a giant hole. So I just took a white denim iron-on patch, I put it behind and ironed it on. I considered sewing it and making it kind of creative, and I decided I just wanted to wear the jeans and be done. And I am known to put sewing projects off for a long time. So I have reinforced the distressing from the inside so that I'm not going to make the nice distressing into a big hole. So while we are headed out of the time for cozy sweaters and boots, I will say that cream and white jeans can be beautiful in the fall and winter. It's just a matter of mixing and matching them with things that look more like the traditional elements of fall and winter, but you can absolutely wear white and cream denim beyond Labor Day in the US and all year long, no matter where you are. It's just a really nice alternative. It's a little bit fresher, it's a little bit different. My husband even has a pair of off-white Levi's that we purchased secondhand, and he wears them all year long and looks great in them. And now what we've all been waiting for, let's make some outfits. So I'm starting today with just a cable knit thrifted sweater. I believe it's Charter Club from a long time ago. And then I have on an also thrifted kind of turquoise leather belt, which is out of my normal color wheelhouse. And I thrifted it about a year ago. And I just like that it adds a pop of color against navy, against cream, against blue, against gray. It just gives me a little bit of interest beyond my normal color wheelhouse without being a big investment or without being a big piece that then kind of throws the outfit. I just like that it feels a little springy, summery. And then the cream jeans and then Converse. You might notice that my Converse are cream. I also have a stark white pair. I wear either with the cream jeans. I am not afraid to mix white and cream. I often wear a white top with these cream jeans or a white sweater. And when I say white, sometimes it is truly white, like this t-shirt, and sometimes it's just a little bit off-white, and then the jeans are even a little bit creamier than that. I have no problem mixing and matching. You'll see that this blazer, when I get to it, is a little whiter than the jeans, and I find that totally fine. And then I just have a couple of gold necklaces layered. So I'm gonna work my way through and make some outfits, kind of some dressier, some more casual, some for warmer weather, some for when there's still a little chill in the air. We'll go from there. So ivory jeans and a striped top. As I said, I tend to wear ivory, off-white, cream, whatever you wanna call it, interchangeable in my book. I tend to wear that color more than I wear stark white. So it makes a lot of sense to me that the off-white denim would feel much more authentic for me and be much easier for me to make outfits with. The white denim always felt a little bit off. And as much as this is what I do for a living, I really, truly wasn't grasping it. I kept trying the white denim. I haven't had a pair. I thrifted a pair like a year ago and I've donated those because they actually ended up being a little too uncomfortable. But I haven't had a pair in the last few years because I just couldn't find a pair I liked. I love these. So just a little striped top and a leopard belt just to add some interest. Back to the Converse. If I wanted to dress this up, the first way would be with a ballet flat because that feels kind of French and fun. So I could do this. The next way would be with a black loafer. Feels a little dressier, a little more formal. I could add a string of pearls. I could add a little gold necklace, just to make it a little bit more elevated. I could add a blazer. I could even add the little red Mary Jane and this brand new Quince linen scarf that I just got recently. It's so soft. Obviously haven't even taken the tag off of it yet. We'll disregard that. Next up, classic chambray. So I tend to not wear chambray with denim just because I don't always opt for denim on denim. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And chambray is usually a collared shirt, and I am usually a knit pullover, not collared button down kind of person. And so, or if it's a proper blouse, it doesn't have a traditional collar. So this is not my normal favorite shape. However, I love the blue and I love the classic tailoring of a great chambray shirt. This one is also thrifted. So this is a little bit elevated with the leopard belt and the loafers. I could certainly make it much more casual with a different belt and a different shoe. So for right now, we're gonna try this very recently thrifted red belt. It is also out of my normal wheelhouse as far as belts go. I've been a leopard belt girl for so long, and I'm not bored of leopard belts. I'm just having a hard time finding any I really, really love. So I've been branching out when I thrift and looking for other options. And so I've recently found a few that I love. So this is a pretty classic look. Chambray shirt, ivory jeans, red braided belt, and a red Mary Jane. I am not in any way trying to come up with patriotic outfits. I just happen to have two pairs of red shoes that I currently love and now a red belt that goes with those red shoes. And I wear a lot of blue and white or blue and cream. So patriotic just kind of happens by default, but that is not my intent. And I could, if it were cool, or if the chambray shirt had no sleeves or a little t-shirt sleeve, I could add a scarf for a little bit of warmth and a little bit of interest. Not that I couldn't do it with the button-down shirt. It's just, it's going to get too warm for that pretty soon at my house. Next up, I'm going to show some options that are a little bit more tonal, a little bit more monochromatic, that don't have quite as much contrast. So this is an incredibly soft, really fabulous little sweater tee from Quince. It is cotton with just a hint of cashmere, making it outrageously soft. It comes in a few colors. It is just getting warm enough for it here, and I am really glad I have it. It's just kind of a fun, different piece for me, a different shape, different color. So I'm really liking this. So this one I would either put on with the Converse, because I pretty much always defer to Converse for comfort and because I'm not usually going anywhere dressy. But if I wanted to elevate these a little bit, I would do the little Oxford. And by elevate, I do not mean make this outfit dressy. I'm completely aware of the fact that these shoes have danced at a lot of bluegrass and have been a lot of places, and they are one of the pairs that I am hoping to replace with something new, but I haven't found that yet. And they're still really comfortable, and I like the way they look. And so they are not elevated in the sense that they're a dressier shoe, but they're just not a sneaker. If I were elevating this outfit and wanted it to feel a little dressier, I could put it on with something that is even more elevated. And in order to do that, I would have to go into my daughter's closet and raid a pair of little heels, because I don't really have any, but she does. And thankfully we have the same size shoe. Thanks, Greta. These are just cute little silver heels, little tiny kitten heel. I probably would do these in gold if I were gonna have them in my own wardrobe. And I could put on my fabulous Chanel scarf. It doesn't come out of my closet often enough, but needs to. And in this case, gold or silver for the shoes, I would swap out the belt. So I could eliminate the belt altogether and just let the shape of this little sweater add some interest to the outfit. It's nice and loose. It doesn't grab and show kind of the waistband and the zipper and all the stuff of the denim. So I like the way it drapes. And I think the shoe is kind of a fun, unexpected pop with a pair of jeans. And if I were going to front tuck and wear a belt, I would do something like this gold thrifted one, which again, I purchased because I'm ready to try some new belts and I didn't want to invest $50, $70, $100 in a belt without really knowing what I wanted. So I've just been experimenting with a collection. So I prefer the gold with this combination of colors. And so I would happily wear the silver shoe with it exactly as is, but I would prefer a gold shoe, this very same gold. These shoes are kind of comfortable, Greta. I would prefer this very same shoe in gold with this look. It could also be a little gold ballet flat, anything to add a little bit of sparkle and to make the outfit a little more formal, a little more elevated, even though it's jeans. Okay, next up is just this, I think it's Brandy Melville thrifted, very light blushy pink cable knit. I like this sweater. I pulled this one specifically because it is a little bit cropped for me. It's a little bit shorter than I like usually with this height of denim, which I would consider a mid-rise. And I don't often wear high-rise pants. They're just not super comfortable for me. And I wanted to show this sweater right after the other one that was a little bit longer and had a little bit of a different shape to it to show you that this is probably not a combination I'm ever wearing, because I don't want to raise my arm and then have my skin showing. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. That's just not super comfortable for me. I have a long torso. This sweater works if I'm wearing some pants, but most of the pieces in my closet, I don't want to have that consideration. I don't want to have that conversation with myself. Oh, well, if I want to wear that sweater, then I have to choose from these pants instead of all of my pants. I want the pieces to pretty much go with each other without any thought. This sweater I keep because I like the color, I like the neckline, I like the classic nature of the cable knit. The cotton's a good weight. I can wear it on a Zoom call where it doesn't matter if I raise my arms and my midriff shows, because I'm not doing that. I just wanted to point out that this sweater is not a shape that I want very much of in my wardrobe because it doesn't work with everything else. And so I have a couple of outliers like this, but I don't want very many of those because it makes the whole process of getting dressed and putting together an outfit much more complicated. So this is a relatively new to me little linen top from Quince. It's just a sleeveless shell with a little bit of a keyhole in the back. I have washed this one and dried it in the dryer because I wanted to see if it would shrink and change. And I have a red one that I can put it against to see how much it maybe changed or didn't. And it didn't. It really didn't shrink at all. It was rumply, but kind of uniformly rumply, if you will. And I didn't need to iron it, but I like to iron, and I was ironing some other things, so I decided I would do that. But it actually did not need to be ironed. Okay, so can we just pause for a minute before I even put the blazer on? And I am barefoot, but I could put on some sort of a shoe. I do have a gold sandal. I'll grab that. So I rarely wear sandals because my foot is long and narrow, and sandals usually don't feel comfortable on my foot, or they kind of slip all over and they feel dangerous. And so sandals are hard for me. However, these sandals that I have on here, I purchased at Target many years ago, and for some reason, miraculously, they not only stay on my foot, but they are actually really comfortable. I have them in black and in gold and in kind of a saddle brown. The saddle brown has definitely gotten the most wear, but I have worn all of them. Occasionally you find kind of a sleeper find somewhere unexpected, and thankfully in this case, I had the wherewithal to purchase 3 pairs. They are long gone, and when it's time, I will find something else. I don't wear sandals that often, but for the sake of showing how it's possible to dress something up with really simple accessories that just happen to have a little bit of wow factor, that's what I'm doing here. Gold sandal from Target, thrifted gold belt, and a thrifted gold necklace just really pulls this outfit together and makes it feel intentional and special and fun, but it is truly just a simple shell and a pair of jeans. And now let's try it with the blazer. That feels like a pretty great summer evening outfit. And then I could add the scarf. This one feels a little more formal, or I could add this one for something that feels a little more casual. I could swap out the belt and the shoes for the red with this scarf. So I just want to take a second and mention something. Sometimes there are really great outfits that we don't tend to wear because they don't feel authentic. The last 2 outfits that I had on are not inauthentic for me, but you maybe have heard me mention before that if an outfit is lacking blue, it just doesn't feel enough like me to make me want to wear too many of those in a row. So I almost always, by the second day, I might wear an outfit that has no blue in it one day, but the next day I'm going to wear something that has blue in it because blue is a default for me, not because I can't think of anything else, but because it genuinely makes me happy and I don't feel most like myself when my outfit doesn't have blue, some shade of blue. So this is great. I actually really like this, and yet there is part of me when I look at it that doesn't feel like myself, and so this would be terrific for one day, but the next day I'm going to want blue again. I could definitely add blue to this to make it feel more authentic. I would probably swap it out for a different shoe and, change out the belt to be more neutral because again, this feels kind of red, white, and blue, which isn't usually my vibe, but I like the way this looks, and instantly the blue has kind of made me feel more grounded and more like myself in this outfit. So pay attention to that in your own wardrobe. What pieces do you tend to either avoid, or what combinations do you put on and not feel so great in? And possibly it's because the color that makes you feel the best is missing, or the element, maybe it's a blazer, maybe it's a pointy shoe versus a round shoe. The thing that actually lights you up and makes you feel really incredible is missing from that look. That doesn't mean you can't wear it and experiment with it and play with it. It just means that's what's wrong. It's not that you've failed or done anything incorrectly. It just means that element that makes you feel like you, for me in this case it's blue, is missing. So this is likely going to be another example of doesn't exactly feel like me because there's no blue. I rarely wear black these days. I usually opt for navy. I'll say as a side note, these little camisoles are incredible. I rarely wear them by themselves. If I were going to wear it by itself, I wear it to dinner with a blazer over it. It's too warm in the restaurant. I take the blazer off. I am fine with my bra strap showing. In this case, I would wear a black or a navy bra over the skin tone, but either way, I have no problem with my bra strap showing. I know that has come up here a couple of times, but I rarely wear something like this on its own. I'm just sharing this with you in case cream and black is something that you would like to try. I'm almost always going to choose navy over the black, but I do have a couple of black pieces in my wardrobe, and so I'm going to share those now. So I opted for the turquoise belt to kind of make it feel a little bit more like me than it would if I had a black belt on or if it didn't have anything that was kind of that bluey shade. Okay, so with just the turquoise belt and the black cami and this kind of sheer black sweater, I would probably opt for the Converse. If and when I find a plain black ballet flat, I definitely could do that also. I would do this ballet flat with it. I just probably wouldn't do it with this belt. I would put the leopard belt on, which I'll show you in a second. If I was gonna wear it like this and I wanted to have something other than the Converse, I would probably do the black sandal. I guess it's time for a pedicure if it's warming up enough for sandals. So these sandals I like because they balance out the weight of the top. So the top is obviously heavy and dark. Well, it's light, but it's visually heavy and dark. And so I like the fact that the shoe offsets that and grounds the outfit a little bit. And it still has the interest at the waist with a pop of color. And now with the leopard belt, I actually like it with this two-tone cap toe ballet flat. And you will notice, with one or two exceptions, I have not added sunglasses or hats or bags or really very many accessories. I've pulled in a couple of scarves just for interest, and I've pulled on a couple other necklaces, but all of these outfits have worked even really without the necklaces. And so that's just to show that really simple, basic, classic pieces can make very interesting outfits if you're just willing to kind of play with the pieces and the colors and the shapes and the shoes and make it feel authentically like you based on the way that you kind of assemble the pieces. I could have 6 women here with me making outfits out of these same pieces, and we would all make different combinations. And that's the beauty of personal style. Okay, and now for one of my very favorite blouses ever. This is the peasant blouse from Quince, 100% organic cotton. It's fantastic. I currently have it in 3 colors, and if the truth be told, any minute a new one is going to be delivered to my front door because I could not resist. It is now available in sort of a very, what seemingly is beautiful, though I haven't had it in my hands yet, blush pink, pale and fabulous. And so I ordered it in that color. It has not come yet, or I would be putting it on and showing it to you right now, but stay tuned. I like how the buttons and the ivory jeans kind of work well together. In this case, I could wear it exactly like it is. It feels a little bit elevated and a little bit dressy, but not too dressy. I could also do it untucked and put it back to these fun spectators. So the spectators I'm showing because they're a little bit similar to that Brandy Melville kind of blush colored cropped sweater. I can't wear them with everything, and I'm okay with that. I don't want a whole bunch of shoes I can't wear with everything, but these I found when I was secondhand shopping with my mom, and she purchased them for me because I fell in love with them. They're very comfortable. I think they're really fun, and I am not going to wear them often, but they go with everything in my closet because they're navy and cream, and that's the majority of my wardrobe. So I'm probably only ever going to wear them with things that are kind of this simple. And in this case, I'm not even sure I would add a belt because the shoes have so much going on that I think I would keep it pretty simple. I might tie kind of a creamy sweater around my neck to just balance it a little bit so that it doesn't feel so blocky with color and then the shoes that have the different colors. Let's try that. Yeah, so this works. They are a little costumey, I'll be honest. They feel a little like a sideshow. I don't dislike that about them. I just have to make sure that what I'm pairing them with doesn't make them feel too contrived, and the shoe can just kind of be the fun part of the outfit. And just to give you kind of the visual, and the way that I would probably wear this and be happiest would be the Converse and the brown leather belt. This is the same little linen top with the keyhole in the back from Quince. I have not washed this one yet. They really did not change shape or size in any way. Really happy with this little top. I might have to order it in a couple more colors. It comes in many. And I just like the way this looks. So have the little red thrifted belt on and my Converse. If I wanted to add a little more interest, I could toss on the scarf. If I wanted to do something other than sneakers, I could do the red Mary Jane. I like the mix of the reds. I have no problem with that. I could also add just this little pendant that has kind of the big pearl on the bottom. So this is a really thick cotton cardigan. Kind of feels like it wants to go to the beach, like on a cool night. This is Quince fisherman knit, really good. Could probably do without the necklace, really. These combinations might be tempting me to go for longer stretches without any blue in sight because they're kind of fun and they feel a little bit different, and dare I say I'm a little inspired. So keeping with the red just for kicks, this is an old J. Crew, just little kind of olive green jacket, kind of completes it, makes it feel nice and transitional even. I could wear this kind of into fall and it would feel really like the right colors. Not that I couldn't wear it all summer, but I like the fact that it adds a little bit of kind of that transitional vibe with the jacket over it. And while we're playing here, I guess we ought to try the navy blazer. Well, yeah, that works. This one's for you, Mom. This feels like you. So this is a similar vibe to the one I started out in, this sort of blue cable knit down here. This is thrifted, it's Land's End. Obviously it's super bright, much brighter than the shoes and the belt. And I don't mind that. I think that the mix of reds just adds a little bit of interest. I could absolutely add the scarf. This feels nice and transitional, whether you're headed from spring into summer or summer into fall. The cotton cable knit in kind of a leaner shape, and the ivory jeans and the shoe that has a little bit of skin showing, and then a scarf to add some warmth. It feels like a nice alternative to the sleeveless red linen before it gets warm enough. So I could and would probably put this with the bright red Adidas because they're just kind of fun. And if we're gonna go red, why not go all out? And in this case, just looking at the belts that I've pulled, I probably would put this little turquoise one on just because it's a little unexpected. And the brown leather would work, the leopard would work, the gold would work, but I'm probably going to do this one because it adds some blue or something a little bluish, and it makes it feel a little unexpected and a little less matchy-matchy. Okay, and then I think we all know that I would absolutely wear a striped t-shirt. I would probably not wear it this way. So it's not that there's anything wrong with this, it just doesn't feel very cohesive. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I'd probably swap out the shoe for the Converse, just because then the belt's still kind of fun and the whole thing is pretty classic and right in my wheelhouse. The shoe doesn't feel like it's kind of calling so much attention to itself. And I could absolutely wear the red braided belt with the red Mary Jane. And I would definitely do the leather belt with the little green jacket and the stripes and the cream and the Converse. And then let's wrap this up with a little band tee. For this one, I'm gonna tuck it all the way in, which, much as I hate to say it, seems to be coming back in force. So I get the sense that my front tucking is going to go the way of hole tucking. I've been doing this a little more often lately and it feels very strange to me, but I'm leaning in because there are times now where I kind of like it. It's sort of like wide leg jeans. It takes a little bit and then all of a sudden they look more normal than the alternative. And so it's kind of where I am, just kind of embracing it. So I would probably put on the turquoise belt just because this t-shirt already has so much going on. Why not add a little more? And I like it back to the Converse. So I could absolutely do it just exactly as is, not really much more changing or adding to than this. I don't need a ton of band t-shirts in my wardrobe, although if I wanted to have a ton, that would be totally fine too. But I have a son who has a bluegrass band, and so sometimes t-shirts that have this vibe to them are a nice part of my outfit. Although let's be serious, even before my son had a bluegrass band, I was wearing band t-shirts and loving it. So just more Grateful Dead, I think, in my world now. So I could easily I could wear it just like this. I could wear it back to the Converse with a blazer. Just kind of elevates it a little bit, makes it feel a little more special and formal. Not formal, but interesting. I could do the same thing with the green jacket. This works because I'm not messing with the shoes. I'm not trying to introduce something else that's going to make the green and all the colors and the turquoise belt have to figure out a way to work together. This is where the interest is and where the color is, and then everything else is neutral. So for this look, that's why it works. It has a lot of color and a lot going on, but the base is remaining really neutral. And I can add the red Mary Jane and the red braided belt and keep the green jacket on. I think that's it for today. Tell me, do you have a pair of white jeans? Do you have a pair of ivory jeans? Do you want a pair? Have you had trouble with them in the past? Are they a go-to for you in the summer or all year long? Share in the comments. I love hearing what's happening for you inside these Simple Outfit series videos, how the pieces are working in your wardrobe, how you're incorporating them into your outfits. If you are, and if you aren't, do you want to? What's your favorite outfit that I shared? I love reading through all of your comments. Thank you very much for joining me for this little journey. I have some new outfits that I've created here that I have not ever worn before, and I am looking forward to the weather getting a little bit warmer, and I'm thrilled that we are now full on in the season of permission to wear white pants. Just kidding. If you would like my help understanding not only how to utilize the pieces in your wardrobe and how to find the pieces that you might be missing, but how to really understand what is happening in your brain, how your mindset and the way you are thinking about your style and your wardrobe and your body and your budget and all of the things that contribute to getting dressed, how the thoughts that you're thinking on repeat, maybe without even knowing it, are getting in the way and keeping you stuck, not loving getting dressed. Style therapy is how I work one-on-one with women to help them bust through all of that and solve their style struggles. We work together as a team for 3 months. It is a $3,000 program and my clients get results. If you would like to get results, we can hop on a 1-hour free sales consultation and see if we're a good fit. There's a link down below to book your call. If you would like to keep watching, I'm going to drop a new video right here. I hope you have a really incredible week and I will be back next Friday. Thanks so much for being here.